Lordy, 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 lordy. I think I only have Poppy with me tonight. So this funeral thing might break me. Because again, it's the relatives. I'm like, I want to disinvite all of them. My sister thinks I'm outrageously angry. She doesn't understand. She's sort of like, she's super detached and is just like, wants to let people do. I mean, literally the only thing my sister cares about is to get a bench that she can get her kids on and she get a picture with, and she doesn't care about anything else at all. So she's totally cool with a family running roughshod, and I am not. And I've talked about this before. I've got videos about it. How an avoidant person gets something done, a lot of times, especially if there's a timeliness issue. I don't know where my cat went. He's probably afraid of me too. Is by basically tapping a well of anger. I can kind of hear somebody yell in the background. I also hear a lot of noise, and I hear a lot of rain. My poor cat. So, I don't know if you can hear this. Because it is actually super pouring down right now. But to recap, my mother died a while back. My father just died, and now we're going to bury them. And my uncle wants to officiate the burial because this is just what our stupid family has done. So my sister's like, okay, this is the family tradition. We'll let him officiate. So what he's done is he got another one of my cousins to talk, and another one of my cousins to fucking sing, the same one that was going to do the filming, who insists on being center of attention. Now he's going to sing. And then this other kid who is just like a random former friend of my mother's wants her to speak. Meanwhile, my sister and I are not speaking. And my aunt, who is my father's sister, who could not speak at her own mother's funeral. He wants her to speak at this burial as the one token person to represent my father. And I can't tell you how pissed off I am. I can't tell you, this guy, again, went behind our back, made up this whole stupid thing of all these people. He's trying to take the whole damn thing over. And meanwhile, of course, I'm literally spending every second that I'm not at work buying crap for this. So it's become a second full-time job trying to plan this stupid thing. And yes, I'm completely livid because I don't think that's right or that's fair. This guy's made up his idea of what he wants us to be. It has nothing to do. If I wanted a funeral, I would have booked a church and had a funeral. I don't want a funeral. All this bullshit, I don't want it. I don't want to be standing out in the, who knows, it might be raining like this. This is all about my cousin and my uncle pantomiming grief. This is not what I want. This is not what my sister wants. All my sister wants is a stupid bench. She's got her bench. Well, I definitely don't want this bullshit, and I want people to take my father into account, and it is bullshit. And I'm now a demon because I brought that up. And I'm totally pissed. Can you tell? Totally pissed because that's what it takes. If I wasn't absolutely enraged, I wouldn't be able to stand up for this. Because, okay, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe my parents are terrible. Maybe they were abusive. But I think this is important, and I really think it's important for my son. He really, really misses his grandfather. And for him to go into this and have have my father be like 5% is bullshit. So for me to stand up to them, I have to be pissed. So I am pissed. And this is what it takes. So this is real life. This is how an avoidant person gets something done. Is this how every avoidant person gets something done? No. Is this how you do everything? No. But if you are absolutely like pushed like this, it's like no warning whatsoever. This guy came up with this whole list of all these people he wants to get involved. They're all his favorite relatives. Does he ask us who we want to have speak? No. And he has the nerve to say, well, I'll get it approved from you and get your input. Not we're doing this, but it's about him. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. This is why I don't have anything to do with my family and how selfish they are. And, this is my mother's brother. They really, truly are this narcissistic and selfish. My mother was not an anomaly. Her treatment of us was not an anomaly. And she trained everybody in the entire family to think that they can treat us the way that she treated us, which is, we'll just lay down and go along with what everybody has to say. And either I'm going to let this happen and break half my family's heart because they're not saying a word about my father, or I have to stop it. And the only way I can stop it, I can't just be sensible like my sister wants. Bullshit. I am not going to negotiate at all. This is a hard, absolute no way. I told my sister I would disinvite my uncle. She had a cow. You know, oh my God, this is family tradition. I'm like, it's only half the family tradition. He didn't have anything to do with anybody else in the family, my grandmother dying, any of that. There's only half the family tradition. And not even the bigger half of the family. I told her that if my cousins are involved in this, then I'm not showing up. And she like, oh my God. But guess what? I don't show up for anybody else's funeral. Why would I show up for this one? I'm paying for it. Who gives a shit? I don't need to show up. I don't show up to funerals or weddings or anything because I can't stand this self-centered narcissism. You know, I'll do all the work, do all the planning, do all the pain. I'm not going to be there. And that's cool. I also told her I hope that we have a storm like this on the day it's pouring rain and the entire thing has to be, stopped short. I'm sure she's horrified. But all she cares about is a bench. She's getting her bench. That's cool. She doesn't care about anything else. She thinks I'm being disrespectful to my uncle. Well, guess what? He can eat shit. Because what the hell? How does he think it's okay to do all this? So yeah, I'm out here walking in the rain. Left my cat in the dust. I hope he's actually under something and not getting soaked. So that you can see, like not even kidding, this is how an avoidant person gets something done. And this is why, generally, a lot of them avoid everything. I've heard from people that they don't know how to negotiate. Like they just don't have any concept. It's either lay down like a doormat and let everybody else take over, or absolutely thunderously, this is beyond the pale, absolutely ridiculous overreaction. One or the other. I'm not quite that bad, but then I don't give a shit about what bridges I burn. If I never see or hear from my uncle again after this, then my life is going to be better. And that's a fact. And in case you're wondering, yes, I can negotiate. And I've been doing it all day. I went today by the flowers and had that meeting and got all the information and told my sister what it's about. And then I'm like, I like this, this, and this. And she came back and nixed it all. She's like, she likes this, this, and this. And then I explained to her why I like these other things. And she's like, ew, but the colors. And I'm like I said, you can do whatever color we want. She's like, oh, yeah, I kind of like this, and I kind of like this, and I like this other one. I'm like, okay, fine. So, yeah, we met in the middle. As far as I'm concerned, having my uncle involved at all is me meeting in the middle. Because I don't think he should be involved. Because I don't think that he can appropriately do this for both sides of the family. I don't think he can do it. And the proof of the pudding is right there. that he's getting all these people, and I don't care about their stupid egos. I don't care at all. You know, I'm the one that's paying for all this stuff. I could just cancel all the checks. Done. It's over. My sister can have her stupid little bench, and that's it. Nothing else. Am I going to do that? No. Am I going to let them war? I don't care. Is he going to be offended by me? I don't care. Because that's it. That's what happens when you have a avoidant personality disorder. When you actually stick up for something, at that point, this is why relationships suck for them so much. Because when you get to the point where you're like, okay, this is so unacceptable that I need to say something about it, the only way you can say something about it is if you literally 100% do not give a shit if that person walks out on you and you never see them again. That's the only time you can say, hey, I need to correct this thing in our relationship. Because I am at that point with all of these relatives. If I never see them again, beautiful. All of them, including my sister. Let them all go away. Goodbye, gone. Good riddance. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Seriously. My life will be better if I don't have them in my life. And that is why and how I can speak up for these things. Fact. Okay? That is how an avoidant gets something done. Now, I've embarrassed my sister, God forbid, excuse me, Miss Thang is fucking drunk. And I've been so embarrassed by her, it's not even funny for so many years that whatever. I've embarrassed her in front of this uncle that she never talks to. Oh, wow. You know, my uncle's probably traumatized. Nobody tells him no. He's the man. Couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. You know, and that's it. Who do I negotiate with? I have negotiated and was calm and was waiting. I mean, again, here's the difference. My sister, same thing. So my uncle who handled my father's finances was holding on to that account, which, did I tell you? I think I told you. That the account is now closed, but because it's Bank of America, it's going to be another 2 weeks before we get the money. So I have to work like a dog and pay for everything cash. Work, get the money, pay it out. Piecemeal. Can't just sit down and pay for these things because, yeah. You know. I don't know. We've talked about how I feel about money and how having a little nest egg is enough for me. But my sister, who is Richie rich on everything, she doesn't have the cash to pay a funeral outright, boom. I don't have the cash for it. I don't know anybody that has cash. Okay, well, I do know some people. But, yeah. Generally, people have their money tied up in something, like a 401k or something like that. So they don't have the cash sitting around to pay this stuff. Nobody does. You know, and whatever. I don't know. It is a massive amount of stress that I'm under, clearly. But, again, the point is, as a person with avoidant personality disorder, how do you get shit done? This is what you do. You get pissed. And you burn your bridges. And you don't care that you burn your bridges. And that's how you get stuff done. But, you know, I waited my uncle out because I really, I waited. He wasn't, there's just something, they're so like, well, like I said, I mean, the problem with my uncle is that he's just like, I'm just going to do this, and I'm just going to do this. And it's like, fuck you, no you're not. No, actually, you're not just going to do this screwed up thing. I can't tell you how many times I have said over and over and over again, this is equal, if anything, and my father just died. And his family, it's their first sibling. This is not about my mother. My mother is an absolute afterthought. My father, this is brand new. He needs to be forefront. Anyway, so I'm kind of raving, duh. But again, the point of this channel is to show you the reality of having avoidant personality disorder and how to deal with it and how to get through with it and what it is for real. So there's a bunch of people that are watching this that are probably like, oh my God, in absolute shock. And this is why I'm like, what the hell? Why do people think of this as the nice personality disorder? The reason they think of it as a nice personality disorder is because people are doormats until they don't care at all. And then they're not nice. Oh, I hear the cat. I also hear whatever the heck this thing is. I know that it's not a nice personality disorder. And you know what? It's called a personality disorder for a fucking reason. Right? Let's be real. I have to get my cat. Pop. Come on. I know, it's been raining. It's terrible. What's wrong with me that I'm out in the rain? Come on, Poppy. Come on, Poppy. There he is. Come on. Poor guy. Getting all wet out here with me. Absolutely disoriented because there's all this construction crap everywhere and that noise and... Sorry, dude, but I came back and got you. Isn't that what matters? Yes, I've negotiated with my son, with my sister, to a point, and with my uncle. Actually, and technically with my aunt, too. That's on my father's side. And I have a huge amount of sympathy for them. Because it's real for them. For the other side of my family, it's not. It's a show. It's them acting. And I can't stand it. So no, I will not negotiate. Or, because what my uncle's like, okay, and then I'm going to have your cousin sing this song. And what he's talking about is not, let's cut that. He's like saying, well, maybe I can pick another song if he approves it. That's the type of crap I'm talking about. Ooh, it's nice and muddy and nasty, and maybe I'll end up on my butt. That'd be great. Oh my God, if I break a bone, I won't have to do this. It's so awesome. Oh, but that is something though. This anger, you would think the first thing is ideation. That does come up quite a bit. It's been a hard week for the ideation, worse than normal. And yet, when I'm raging, not a speck of it. It's completely out of my mind because I am focusing on something and getting stuff done. And I will crash later, and it will be bad. But it will be worth it because you know what? First of all this crap, my sister, she's the one that sent it to me first. She was horrified. She's like, I can't believe this! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point in a text. Like, cannot believe that this guy said this. But she's trying to how to finesse it. Versus me, who was just like, no, there's no finesse. This is a no. Reject 100%. You know, it wasn't just me that was traumatized by this. Like, I cannot believe this guy would do this. Anyway, here comes a car. So I guess like the drama is really starting. I'll let you know how this goes. Maybe I'll cancel the whole thing. It would be great. Maybe I won't show up. It would be great. But that is the reality. This is how you cope with life when you have an avoidant personality disorder. This is why nobody wants to interact with anybody, because, you know, no trust. And why would I trust somebody that they would do this behind our back? Why? How can I trust this guy? I can't. I can't trust him. I can't trust any of them. They do not have our best interests in their heart. What they have is their showboating and their ego. That is what's important to them. You know, how can I trust people when this is my family that's doing this? Duh. Anyway, I'll keep you updated. It's going to be better than the soap opera. Or worse. I don't blame you if you're disgusted by these videos. It will be over soon, I promise. Bye.